Hello and welcome to Broll Bites. I'm Shahan Ramkisoon. It's great to have you with us. Today we're unpacking the 2023 State of the Nation address. President Cyril Ramaphosa announcing his plan to deal with the energy crisis. I'm joined by Chief Operating Officer of Broll Integrated Facilities Management, Batabile Sibaca, and Mitesh Bhawan, Managing Director of Broll Energy, Water and Sustainability. Let's start with the overall reaction to the 2023 State of the Nation address. Did it inspire confidence in you as leaders in the integrated facilities management sector? Batabile?
Thank you, Sean. I don't think confidence is the word for it. I would probably say optimism and encouragement. I think there was a lot of anticipation and expectation when the president got onto the stage to address the nation. I thought there was a lot of pressure on him on the back of what's happened with the energy crisis. And I think his message was to almost galvanize hope into the country that we are in this mess, but there is a plan in place. There's almost a level of impatience now in the country. And so there's going to be a lot of pressure on the country, but I think as business and private sector, we've got to just partner with the government to some degree. And I think as Broll Integrated FM, that's where we kind of trying to play in that space to be expert advisors in the energy crisis.
Mitesh, a lot of focus on the energy crisis, which is pretty critical, right? Broll has launched an energy, water and sustainability service line to help clients navigate through this period of this difficult time. What's your reaction to what's going on and us going into a national state of disaster?
I'm happy that the president has declared a national state of disaster, and it means that drastic measures and steps need to be taken to fill the shortfall of energy that the country requires.
Batabile, the Broll EWS move, pretty essential for businesses to adapt and ride this power crisis wave, isn't it? You have to be sustainability focused. Just elaborate on that for us.
When I think about sustainability in corporate and business, I think in a typical facility in a building, do businesses understand how much energy consumption is being used in the facilities? Do they understand the elements that cause spikes in energy? With Broll, we can come in and do audits and give customers an understanding of exactly how the facilities operate and what costs are coming through in terms of energy.
So Mitesh, the president says that there will actually be tax incentives for businesses that go green by using solar power. Surely that's attractive and helpful to businesses that can't rely on Eskom.
If the government wants mass deployment of renewable energy, they cannot put hurdles in place for people not to claim their tax incentive and then expect the energy that they're wanting from the tax incentive in its first place. I think the tax incentive is a cream on the top, if you can call it a cream on the top. But I think businesses should be looking at continuity and using the incentive to maybe push some of those business cases over the line.
Batabile, lots of talk about the future of real estate going forward. Are we going to see all of these buildings off the national grid and energy efficient?
We need to be very realistic when it comes to that. Ideally, I believe most businesses want to be off the grid on the back of what's happening in the country. However, it needs to be a phased approach. I think it comes down to cost. Ideally, they want that, but it's not going to happen overnight.
But can businesses actually afford that, getting off the national grid?
In its current form, maybe not. But if buildings actively understand how they're using energy, actively implement projects that can reduce that energy consumption, and then looking at the renewable and the backup power solutions that are coming into the market, then I believe it can be done.
I think it's important to be cognizant of different sources of power as well. As much as we want to move away from just relying on the current national grid, I remember the president stating that they are talking to different players in the market and trying to get different sources of energy from neighboring countries and different suppliers. We just got to be careful that if we continue that and we do that, that the power is not disruptive to facilities. Because if not done correctly, there could be for lack of a better word, dirty power coming into the grid.
Mitesh, you're basically Broll's very own electricity minister. How are you strategically advising your clients during this time?
I would look at understanding where I could save energy and then supplementing that with the renewable and the battery and the capital costs of going off grid. Some of the opportunities exist by education, so educating people around where there's energy wastage, switching off lights when not in use, basic principles, going back to first principles to understand how much the building is consuming when there's no activity or no people in the building. So what's your night consumption versus your day consumption? What external environmental factors are driving your energy consumption? What is the impact of temperature? What is the impact of humidity? What is the impact of people on the building facility? And then understanding how you can reduce that to maintain your environmental conditions, but just using less energy.
That's where we'll leave it for now. Thanks for watching.